Today we're going to talk about a mail merge. Now, mail merge is actually a technology that is waning as more and more programs are being built to just integrate with things like Outlook and produce emails that are personalized. But it's still a skill that is worth knowing and being aware of, and it's something we do in the chapter in Word. The idea of mail merge is simply this: to write a letter once or a document and then add in the data for the recipients and any specific data for that specific letter and create personalized letters. You've gotten them all the time. You get junk email that has your name and address already filled in. And this way we're going to do it ourselves. So we're going to start off with a basic email, not an email, but a basic letter. This one's already written, and there's indicating places where you're going to put in your name and something called a chapter title. We also have data already set up right now in an Excel sheet. As you can see here, the first name, last name, address, city, state, zip code, and a chapter title relates to what is already in that document there. This is on sheet 1. So to do a mail merge, very simple, but you need to make sure to go through all the steps in order to do it properly. So you have a mailings tab. We're going to go to the mailings tab. You have a start mail merge, and one of the things we can do with this is we can do a mail merge wizard. Now the wizard is a little bit of a help, just make sure that we step through everything that needs to be done. It's not difficult, and in fact the same steps are actually right up here. But this is what you learn in your simulation, so let's just go ahead and play with this. Opens up a side panel here. What type of document we're working with? We're working with a letter. Okay. And then we're going to use the current document because it's already written. We could create a new document if we wanted to. Now the recipients is we are going to use an existing list, which is right here. So I'm going to say browse, and I'm going to, goes to my data sources. I have a folder on my desktop that has my merge data in it. Just going to select that, and I'm going to want it happened to have two sheets. As I looked at it, it was sheet 1, so I'm going to just say okay. And here I'll be able to see my data, and just to kind of make sure that it looks good, my data source, and then my last name, first name, my different fields. Now what I'm going to do here, because this is going to be sent out by mail, is I'm going to sort it by zip code. You don't have to sort anything. If you don't sort anything, it'll do it in the order that's in the data source. And just go ahead and click OK. And now, next is to write your letter. Well, we've written the letter, so now what we need to do is we're going to add in my fields. There are several ways we can do this. We can add in, go here, enter it in, and we can add in a pre-created address block. That's nice and easy. We're actually going to do it manually because that's what you're asked to do in the grader project. So we can add in more items here, and we can say we want to do first name, insert, and close. And then I want to hit space, and then I want to do last name, insert, close. Hit return. And then now I can also use insert merge fields here, and I want to insert the address. Hit return. City, I put comma, space, state, space, zip code. Now we're going to replace these placeholders we had, so I'm just going to hit that and go delete. Now the problem is this is all spread out here, so I'm going to grab my first 2 lines. I'm going to go to my layout tab here and just remove the extra space after the paragraph so it's nice and neat. But I'm going to leave it on my last paragraph so that it still has that space between that and the dear author line. Many cases this author would also be replaced with the first name. Now I also have an area here called chapter title that's going to get put in. Many times in templates you'll see them put in the square brackets just to indicate this is where you're going to put it in. And so I've highlighted it, and I'm just going to go with insert chapter title from the mail merge field. It's going to replace it. It actually just is the same word, but it's now in these angled brackets to indicate that's a field. I'm writing it out and putting it in quotation marks to say this is the title and just to set it off. Once I've got that all done, preview my letters. And here, I can see this is what my end result looks like. My name, address, city, state, zip. There's the title. And what I can do is I can look, scroll through each of my letters here. And in fact, when you do a mail merge, you really should just make sure that you've got everything. There's nothing unexpected here. So if it looks good, then you're going to go complete the merge. Now when you get to this last step here, many people will just hit save. That's not going to work. And what you want to do is if you want to print them right out, you just hit print. That'll send it to your printer, and you can then discard the mail messages, the merged mail. Because many times you don't need to save it. You have the data source, you have the letters, you can sit there and recreate that anytime you want. So what you want to do is you want to click Edit Individual Letters. You're going to merge all the records, and it's going to open up a new window for you. Notice it's just called Letters 2. It's not saved. You'll see page 1 of 11. I've got 11 documents here, and I can scroll down and see them. At which point I can then save this to however I want to save it. And then for my grader project, I can go ahead and submit it at that point, once I'm done with all of my instructions. The important thing for your grader project is that you always make sure that you've got more than one page here. If you have page 1 of 1 in your resulting document, you will not get your points because you will have not completed the mail merge and it will throw up on you. So make sure that you do that. You go ahead and save your document, and then when you're done, your original document, you can close your mail merge, and you can either save this document if you want. This is only page 1, and it'll show you just whatever's the current page, and it'll save it so you have a model, or you can just say, I'm done with this, go to File, go to Close, and then don't save the document. That's all there is to it. It's not a difficult process, it's just people sometimes forget steps.